I've been known to do things last minute, and when I saw the IHG Premier Business Card had an all-time high sign-up bonus of 165,000 points, I put it off. I told myself I'd apply later, and even when we found out last week that the deal was expiring tomorrow, June 29th, I was still like, I'll get to it at some point. But with a little bit more research on this card, I realized I absolutely had to make this Watch Me Apply video. So here we are applying for the IHG Premier Business Card on the last day the elevated sign-up bonus is still available. I'll give you a rundown on the card, talking about the benefits, and I'll tell you why I'm applying for the card, and then we'll get into actually applying for it, and I'll even share why I might not get approved, and we'll just see what happens. So like I mentioned in the intro, there is a 165,000 point bonus. This is a limited time offer that expires on June 29th. So if you want to apply for it, you have just about 24 hours to do so if you're watching this video as soon as it releases. Of course, if you're watching this video after the first 24 hours, the sign up bonus is likely to decrease, but it still may be respectable enough for you to sign up for the card. This 165,000 points is IHG points. You can only use this when you're staying at IHG hotels. Even though this is a Chase card, you can't transfer out these points to various travel partners. And with the sign-up bonus, you do have to spend $3,000 in the first 3 months of owning this card. Most people would say that these IHG points are worth about half cent per point, and so when you do the calculation, this 165,000 IHG points turns into about $825 worth of value. This comes from going to the IHG website, ihg.com, and then looking for a hotel that you might want to stay in, and then you compare the cash price to the points price that you would pay for staying in that room, and it tends to be about half a cent per point, or maybe even 0.6 cents per point if you found a really good deal. The half cent per point calculation has always been how I determined how valuable these IHG points are, but recently, after playing around with the IHG website and looking at the hotels that I could stay at with the points that I earned from this IHG personal Premier card, I realized that that half cent per point, or even the 0.6 cents per point, it may be lower than what we could actually get in terms of value when we hold one of these credit cards. Just as an example, that conservative estimate would be comparing a non-refundable room with the cash price versus the refundable rate that you get when redeeming points. And so that makes the rooms they're not the same. And if you do decide to go with the refundable rate for the cash price, you will end up with the calculation maybe closer to 0.7 cents per point. And that makes a big difference because 0.5 cents per point would get you the valuation of the sign-up bonus of 165,000 points being around $825. But according to my new calculation that I will probably use going forward when talking about IHG hotels, that's over $1,100 of value. And it can even be more than that when you factor in one of the main card benefits of owning this, and that would be the 4th night free when you use points to book an IHG hotel. You will have to pay points for night 1, night 2, and night 3, but on night 4 it's going to be 0 points. I know that not everybody stays in a hotel for exactly 4 nights, but if you choose to do so, then you can get a huge benefit just from owning this card because that benefit comes with it. So the sign-up bonus is pretty nice, and one of the main reasons why I'm applying for this right now. And another one is that it is a business card. I'm going to apply for this card under my LLC's name, and that is important because I will be building my business's credit history. I have already applied for the Chase Business Inc. Unlimited card under the LLC's name, and I was given a pretty nice credit limit for that one, and I want to apply for another card under the LLC's name just so we can get a bigger credit history. And just because I'm talking about my LLC does not mean that you can't apply for this card. You can always apply for this card as a sole proprietor. If you make any sort of money being self-employed, that could qualify you to apply for this card, or any business card for that matter. Business cards also don't count against Chase 524 status. Chase 524 is the rule that says if you've been approved for 5 personal cards or more in the past 24 months, then you cannot get approved for Chase credit cards. There's some cases where you could get approved for a card, personal or business, while being over Chase 524, but that seems to be pretty rare. So if you're at 524, you can't expect to get approved for any Chase cards, but if you are 424, you can get approved for for a personal card or a business card. If you would get approved for a personal card, that will put you at 524, but if you get approved for a business card, you will actually stay at 424. There are some exceptions with credit card issuers that would actually bump you up to 524, so just be aware of that. But if you're applying for a business card with Chase, then your status at 424 will remain there. So how this applies to me, I'm trying to get approved for a lot of Chase credit cards before I actually hit that status of 524, and right now I'm currently sitting at 424, but Chase sometimes says that authorized users count towards that status, which I am on one card account, so that would technically put me at 524, but we're hoping that Chase doesn't factor in the authorized user and still thinks I'm 424, so even when I get approved for this card, I will stay at that status. This card also has a $99 annual fee, and that's one of the reasons I'm applying for this, not shying away from the card, because even though I do have to pay $99 every single year, like I was talking about during the sign up bonus section of this video, if I can get over $1,000 worth of value just from holding this card, I think $99 is worth it. And if I ever don't get $99 worth of value in a calendar year, then I will consider canceling the card. So from an outsider's perspective, it may just seem redundant to get both the personal and the business. It really wouldn't make sense to get both. Well, I'll go over the card benefits to tell you what's exactly the same, and then I'll also tell you why I'm applying for this card because of some of the unique things that come with the business card. With the personal IHG card, I got Platinum Elite status with IHG Hotels, and this Platinum Elite status comes with some pretty good benefits like complimentary upgrades and early check-in. But I already get that with the personal card, and with the business card, it'll just be redundant, so it wouldn't even make my status any better. The card also comes with a 4th night free if we redeem points for our stays. I already talked about this a little bit earlier in the video, and yeah, I get the exact same benefit on both cards, and so it's not like I can get an extra free night when redeeming points. Like, it'll be the exact same, and so that doesn't help me. There's also a benefit that a lot of people don't talk about, the United Travel Bank. By holding the personal Premier or the business Premier card, you can get $25 every 6 months towards United flights. So they will deposit $25 into your United Travel Bank account that you can use to pay for any sort of flight that you want in those 6 months. And the $25 is good from January to June and then expires, and then you get a new $25. But you can only get this credit once. So it's not like I'm applying for the business Premier card and that turns my $25 into $50. That is not how that works. You just get the $25. It says you get 26 times points when you use the card at IHG properties, 5 times points on travel, dining, and gas, with the business card coming in and having like 1 or 2 extra categories that you can get for spending money on that card, and then 3 times points on everything else. So it basically feels like the same card, but there are a few differences. With each of these cards, you get an anniversary free night. So every time you pay the annual fee, starting with the 2nd year, you get a free stay at an IHG property for 1 night. And this is capped at 40,000 IHG points. So if you're using the 0.5 cents per point calculation, you can get a hotel stay of up to $200 for 1 night a year. And that's pretty good. So with the personal card, you get 1 night, but with the business card, you also get another night. So that is going to be 2 anniversary free nights. So that is really, really cool because you usually don't want to stay just 1 night in a hotel. You usually want to stay more than that. So I will probably plan on using both anniversary free nights for a 2-night stay in a pretty nice hotel. And another benefit that comes with the business card that does not come with the personal card, I get an extra global entry or TSA pre-check credit. I will not personally be using this because I already get global entry from one of my other credit cards, and so this will probably be a gift that I give to somebody else. I'll just pay for them to have global entry. But I'll get the entire $100 credited back to my account, so I really don't have to pay anything, and they get global entry. I'm pretty sure that's allowed. I don't think I have to use that on myself. I think I can give that to a friend or a family member. And of course, something that I don't get from the personal IHG card is a second sign-up bonus. So I would not get the extra 165,000 points if I did not sign up for the business card. The sign-up bonus is a huge way to earn points really, really fast, and I have found that I actually will use these IHG points in an upcoming video, probably in like a month or so, and I think they're pretty valuable, so I definitely want more of them if I can get them. And this is a business card. I already talked about how great business cards are, and that is one benefit that I get that I don't have with the personal IHG. And now let's get into the 2 reasons why I may get declined for the card. Reason number 1 is I've been applying for a lot of cards lately, and it's been a lot of personal cards, and so that actually has affected my credit score a little bit. It's not because I'm being irresponsible with my credit cards, it's just that I have a couple hard inquiries on there that will probably be factored into my credit score, and Chase may not like that, but my credit score is still pretty high. It's above a 730 on Experian, and on TransUnion and Equifax, it's hovering around 760. So I don't really think that's a big deal, but my credit score is definitely lower than it has been in the last year or so. And reason number 2 that I kind of already talked about, Chase might think that I am 524. I am 424 right now when it comes to personal cards in the last 24 months, but I am an authorized user on one card account for my wife, so technically I am 524 if Chase decides to factor in the authorized user. And it's kind of been a gray area lately for cards with an elevated sign-up bonus. There have been a lot of people that have been getting approved for cards even well over 524. Let's say they're 824. I've seen people say that they still get approved for these limited time offer cards. And with the positive news coming from them, it does seem like it might be likely that I could get approved for this card even if Chase thinks I'm 524. With all that said, all we have to do is click on the application and apply. So I just typed in Chase credit cards on Google, and I'm going to click on the first link here, and it's going to take me to a page where it looks like it's going to say our most popular rewards cards. And I'm just gonna click on view all rewards cards here, and it's gonna show me personal and business cards. This has become a website that I look at pretty often to see any limited time offers. So we're gonna scroll all the way to the bottom and go to the IHG. Here we go. There's 2 cards here. This is the card that I have now, the IHG Premier Personal Card, and then there's also an IHG no annual fee card. But we're gonna keep scrolling and go to the business cards section, and we are going to look at this card right here, the IHG Rewards Premier Business Credit Card. It has the new card member offer of 165,000 bonus points when you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months. This sounds pretty good to me. It's exactly what I expected to see. And so we're just gonna click on the card, get a little bit more information, and then we'll apply. At the top here, you can see all of the IHG hotels. There's 18 brands right there that you can choose from. There's some really high-end hotels in there and also some budget-friendly ones. We see the sign-up bonus here at the top of the page. That's what we like to see. And it also says that you can earn a $100 statement credit and 10,000 bonus points after you spend $20,000 on purchases each calendar year. I do not expect to put $20,000 worth of purchases on this card because $100 of a statement credit and 10,000 bonus points just really doesn't entice me that much. And the most important thing that we need to look at with this card, it says this product is available to you if you do not have this card and have not received a new card member bonus for this card in the past 24 months. So I do have an IHG card, but I do not have the business card. So I do not have this card, and I have not received a card member bonus on this card in the last 24 months. So we are good to get the sign-up bonus. You always just want to make sure what the language is for each card that you apply for to make sure that you are eligible for the sign-up bonus. All of that looks good, and I'm ready to apply. There are 2 options: sign in to apply faster or apply as guest. I have a Chase account, and I already have a Chase for Business account, so I think I can just sign into that one, and I'll be able to apply even faster. It's probably going to populate a few of the fields so that I don't have to do it myself. Now we're here on the application. It tells me which card I'm applying for, and it looks correct, so we just continue. It says, tell us about your business. Which business is this card for? And so I'm going to choose the LLC that I have, and now I'm going to click next, and it's going to tell me all of this information that they already have for me. It says choose authorizing officer title. I am the owner of the company, and it has all of my personal information right there. I don't have to type it in. That's pretty nice. It all looked correct, and so I scrolled down, and the first field here is the IHG member number, and I already have an account. I signed up just like a month or so before I applied for the personal IHG card, so I'm going to use the exact same number. I would hate to have two IHG accounts and not have all of the points pool into one place. But if you're not already an IHG member, they will automatically enroll you and you'll get all set up with an account. I logged into IHG.com, just went to my profile, and I copy and pasted my number. Here is the total gross annual income. Just put your best educated guess in there, and of course include everything that you can. The banks like to see a high income, especially if they're trying to give out a decent credit limit. It says this is what you earn or reasonably expect to earn in a year. So if you expect to get a raise at your job, or you think your company is really going to grow in the next couple months, then you can make sure that you project for that. Next up, if you have a doing business as name, then you would put that there. I just selected no because I don't have that. Next is the desired business name on the card, and then the number of employees. Next up is the annual business revenue. Up top was just the gross income for your entire household, and this is now just the business revenue. And then how much money you expect to spend on the card. I wouldn't go like too low or too high here, just like somewhere like a reasonable amount that you think that you would spend. And then percent of ownership for the company. If you're applying as a sole proprietor, then you would just put 100%, but because I co-own the business with my wife, I'll put my respective percentage right there. No, I would not like to add any employee cards at the time, but I believe that's completely free to do so. And go paperless, yes or no. I always click yes here. I don't need any extra statements in my mailbox, and I can find out everything online. Now on to pricing and terms. There's three things I always look for. The APR is going to be like 21% to 28%. That's fine. I don't really care about that because I am going to be paying off this card in full and on time every single month, and so I won't be paying any interest on the card. Next up is the annual membership fee, and this one is $99 every single year. I think that's totally fine, especially with all of the perks and benefits I get from owning this card. And with the foreign transaction fees, there is none, so that's great. I can use this card on my upcoming international trip, as long as I use the card for business purchases, because if you scroll down and you look at all the certifications, you will see that number one, it says this is a business account which shall be used only for business purposes and not personal, family, or household purposes. I know that some people like to use their business cards for more than just business purchases, but there is this rule right here in Chase that says it's used for only business, so use your own best judgment on what you decide to purchase with the card. Once you've read all of the information, all you have to do is click on the box and say that you have read and agree to everything that's above. So I'm going to double check everything really quick and then I'll hit submit. I've checked everything, and so I'm ready to click submit, and like I said, there are a few reasons where I may be denied for the card, but I'm going to give it about a 60% chance that I'm auto approved for this card. So why don't we go ahead and click the submit button. Whew, this is very exciting. I'm very happy that I might be getting a new card, and it's gonna take about like 10-20 seconds for this to process my information. I signed in, so that might make it a little bit faster, so we'll just have to see. Doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like it's taken a while. Man, it says that it's in review. It says thanks for applying for the card, and it says we'll let you know our decision in writing as soon as we can. This one, it doesn't look too good, so I'm gonna have to call the Chase Reconsideration line and hopefully get approved for the card. That's what I had to do when applying for this personal IHG card, so it's not really a huge deal. I'll probably get approved after calling them, and we'll just have to see. But I'm posting this video right now just so that everybody knows if you want to get this card, you only have 24 hours to do so, so that's why I'm getting the video out so quick. So thank you so much for watching this one. If you also want to watch another one of me applying for this personal card, I'll leave the video right there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.